Okay, I just want to start by saying thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down and chat with me. I suppose, Liz, we should start right at the beginning. How did your love of theatre begin?
Um, well, it began at school.
Hmm.
I was in a couple of school productions, one being My Fair Lady.
Hmm.
I was just in the chorus because my singing's not the best. Um, and it kind of went from there. I then joined a sort of local theatre company, and it's just been ever since then, to be
Mm.
honest. I mean, I just love theatre. Well, so does Kate, but I love the immediacy of theatre. You can never you go and see a show, and you that is the only time you're going to see that particular performance on
Mm.
that particular day. So
Mm.
yeah.
And Kate, when did your love of theatre begin? I know obviously Liz hinted at it then, but how did yours start?
Well, I suppose I'm much the same. I started off as a 5-year-old in pantomime, sort of with a local, youth group after school, and it sort of
Mm.
carried on from there. And I enjoy all types of theatre. Liz and I, we actually became part of a comedy duo many, many years ago. So we've done the comedy circuit as well as
Mm.
theatre. I love musicals as well as plays, and I teach drama. So drama is something that I do
Mm.
basically all the time.
Obviously, we mentioned there's sort of amateur dramatics and sort of a comedy duo. So, Liz, how did you get into writing? How did that path happen?
It happened because I had a baby, and but up till that point, I was acting quite a lot.
Mm.
Going out and rehearsing. And once I'd had my daughter, I suddenly realised I couldn't go anywhere.
Mm.
Also because I was a single mum, and I thought, well, how can I carry on being creative? So I started writing plays because being an actor, that's kind of
Mm.
all I knew. And in fact, my first play was produced at the Baron's Court in London. So
Oh.
beginner's luck.
But obviously that continues to the project we're talking about today, Liz, is obviously who do they think they are?
Yeah.
And obviously which is a homage to the Spice Girls in the title. So are you a big
Yes.
Spice Girls fan?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I mean, I love 80s, 90s
Hmm.
music anyway. But yes, the Spice Girls, I've grown up with the Spice Girls. And in fact, this year, I don't know if you know, but it's the 30th anniversary of their first song,
Hmm.
Wannabe,
Oh
is
wow.
actually this year. So it's nicely timed with our tour.
Hmm. And so Kate, obviously talking about Liz's love of Spice Girls then, what drew you into this project in particular? What made you want to be a part of it?
But I think that being a part of something, it's funny. There's lots of different touches to it. There's that, the backstory, but also working with three other women who I've known for a long time, but never actually worked with. So
Oh.
it's all been it's that in itself has been an exciting venture as well. But
Hmm.
also Liz's writing, Liz writes. It was such good observational dramas as well, and she really gets to the depths of those characters.
Hmm.
So to have the opportunity to be in one of Liz's plays is really exciting.
Do you think that changed the rehearsal process at all? Obviously knowing the people that you're with.
Um, it as the rehearsals have gone on, yes, sort of.
Hmm.
I mean, I've seen them perform before, and we've all seen each other perform, but we've never actually performed together. So although we knew of each other,
Hmm.
we didn't actually know each other as sort of friends, but now I would say we are a very, very
Hmm.
close unit. And so and again, being all ladies of a certain age, we're all quite confident with each other and sort of helping each other out, and which I think is
Hmm.
a really a good thing to be doing. There are no divas
Yeah.
in the cast.
Oh,
There are in the play, but not within the cast.
Obviously, Liz, then we talked about it, your love of Spice Girls, and I think the really important question that the first thing that I wrote down was, how was the characters aligned to each person? So obviously on the promo, you've got all your tribute to the classic looks. How did you decide who was going to be what persona?
Do you know what? It was so easy. Well, Kate, I've always wanted to work with Kate, and I have written quite a few plays, and there's never been the right part for Kate. But this play has been sort of in the making for quite a number of years, and I always saw Kate as Marion, who's one of the four women. She's a bit scatty and a bit lost and desperate for friendship. So it was right up her street. And we've got the other cast member, Helen, plays. She was in my previous show that I toured year before that. And she played a bit of a sort of diva part in that one. And it was really her audition for this play, because she plays Posh Spice, and she's very much of that ilk, let's just say. She's the person that no one else wants to be at the reunion. So she's got that to contend with when she arrives. The other two, not so easy, really. The other two are sisters in the show. And I've managed to cast people that don't look anything like each other, don't sound anything like each other, but they just work. You know, they've molded themselves into the characters of Ginger Spice and Scary Spice. So yeah, when you watch the show, the sort of naturalism of those characters just comes straight out at you the minute it starts.
You talked about the show there and what happened, but what is the story about? Who do they think they are about?
Well, it's a group of women who knew each other at college, and they were in a dance club. So they gather for a reunion, of which most of them don't really want to be there, to be honest. But it quickly becomes apparent that old wounds have not healed. And it's really about how they reconnect or not reconnect in a couple of the characters. But it's a sort of joyful celebration of friendship, where some traumas of the past are ironed out, and the end result is a celebration of their time at college.
Oh, totally. So, Kate, obviously, you said about knowing but not performing with the other people. It's kind of like your own little reunion with the cast. So, did you draw on some of that experience as well as when you were taken to the stage?
Yeah, no, I think so, definitely, because my particular character is very eager to be at this reunion. And obviously Liz has written this with me in mind. So now I'm thinking that actually I am this character, even at rehearsals. It's like, oh yeah, it's rehearsals. I'm here, everybody. And everyone just looks at me and it's like, oh yeah. But no, it's I think because of the way that our characters are, every rehearsal period has become a little bit like this a reunion, and we're now starting to have all these memories that we're sharing together as well. So, and because we started this in September, we had quite a break before we got back together again, and seeing each other after that was almost like the dance rehearsal. So yeah.
Fantastic. And Liz, obviously you talked about what the story's about, but where did it come from? What was your inspiration for writing this show?
A bit of a sort of not the best memory, to be honest. I was invited to a hen do, and it was one of these dance experiences, which I wasn't really looking forward to, because I knew I'd be one of the oldest there by far, and I didn't really know many people that were going to be there. And we had to learn in 2 hours a dance routine to Britney Spears' Baby One More Time.
Right.
And I'm not a dancer. I cannot learn dance steps. So it was a bit of a nightmare, really. But a few things sort of happened that made me think this could be a great play.
And how did you go from sort of having the idea then to putting it on stage? What was that journey like of the writing and staging parts of it?
Um, well, I'd already done a play in
Hmm
2024, which was my first production as Liz Tate Productions, and my first time out directing,
mm
which was quite a scary
hmm
process. But that gave me the confidence to be able to do this one, which is a bigger show. There's two dance routines in it. There's lots
Wow.
of props. So it was a bit of a sort of bigger project to
Mm.
produce. But my previous play had sort of given the confidence to go ahead and do it this time round. So I'm very glad I did.
Mm. And Kate, obviously there we heard about Liz's dance experience and how there's two dance routines in the show. So what was it like you learning that you're gonna have to pick up choreography and do the dance on stage?
Well, I was yeah, no, I mean dancing isn't my strongest point, but thankfully I'm sporty spice. So
Mm.
and my character obviously isn't meant to be the best dancer
Mm.
because she's um that's just Marion. And but I was lucky enough to go to one of um when these packages, I went to a birthday party
Mm.
and we had to learn a dance routine. So I had experienced how
Yeah.
you had to do it. So that was really good to have the first-hand knowledge. But we're really lucky because one of the girls in it is a professional choreographer. So
Ah.
she has taught all of us. And once we all knew it and it was fully embedded,
Mm.
it was easy, absolutely easy. I say.
So within the show though, is that so you're learning choreography, sort of the characters are learning. So you obviously know the choreography, the actor knows the choreography. So what is it like
Yes.
acting like you don't know something you do, if that makes sense?
Well, it's within the play, it's very snippets of the
Okay.
choreography being taught. So it might be that we might have like one or two steps and then something happens and then the next
Uh,
part of the scene happens. So throughout it, we're only sort of doing an odd step. So we're not having to um, do large chunks of the choreography
yeah.
till we wow everybody at the end. I'd say
Ah.
wow. And then there's
Wow, in inverted commas.
and then there's another dance number in it, which is a musical theatre number. And again, because we are remembering our choreography from way
Ah.
back,
Hmm.
again, it's almost that's happening each time we're doing it because there's a couple of us that are still going, what was that step? What was that step? It's fine because we knew it 30 years
Hmm.
ago. Wouldn't know it really well, but then our choreographer is going, no, you must know it really well. So and she has a massive solo in it, so we're more than happy at the back.
Hmm. And obviously, Liz, Kate mentioned there that there is one of the actors in the show is a choreographer. It seems very not convenient, but that it's like a reunion and there's a choreographer in the show. Did that just kind of happen by chance?
Yes, it did.
Oh.
Because obviously I knew Helen
Mm,
Rogers, who plays that character, from my previous play.
mm,
And I knew she was a fantastic singer, but I didn't know she was a dancer until I started talking to her about this play. And she said, well, I used to teach tap dancing.
wow.
Um, which I immediately sort of jumped on and said,
Mm,
oh well, how would you like to be in this play, as choreographer as well? And she actually does a tap routine in the play,
mm.
which goes down an absolute storm.
The best form of dance tap, I will say the best people do it. Um, got my own
Yeah.
grade four.
Have you?
Yes, yeah, yeah. I did just before the lockdown. I just picked it up on a whim and thought I'll have a go. Local
Oh,
class, and yeah, we put in for exams. But yeah, so what was it like then? Obviously, the tap routine wasn't part of the show prior to learning that.
no, it wasn't. But I decided I needed to
Mm,
shoehorn it in somewhere, because it was too good an opportunity to
mm,
miss. So the the routine that they learn from their college days just happened to have quite a big tap routine for Helen to do. So
Oh,
it
wow.
is quite a highlight in the show.
So obviously the whole show kind of revolves around this dance class. So, Kate, I obviously haven't taken part in my own dance classes sometimes. Dance classes are a really interesting sort of place for different types of people. You're all kind of struggling or excelling together. So why do you think sort of that dance element is so important to the show?
I mean, I think, as you say, dance does bring people together.
Mm,
It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter, what level you're at. You can still take part in it, and
mm,
you can still produce something at the end, even if and we're not Helen, we're not all Helens tap dancing away, but we're all producing our own style, and you can get a lot of pleasure from it. I think it's
mm,
a bit like when people that sing in a choir, that they sing all together and they get that
mm,
wonderful feeling. And I think that's a bit like a dance class as well, because obviously you're exercising, and
mm,
so physically you're up. um and there's a lot of laughter involved as well, even if something goes wrong,
mm,
when you're actually in that class. And I think also when you do something right, that achievement is
mm.
wonderful. So when we do our final song at the end, and we're obviously all being amazing and doing our Spice Girls, um, it does. We all go, yes, we've done it, because especially as my character at the end does actually seem to all of a sudden be able to dance. Um, it's one of those. It's like, oh, she can actually do it. And it's sort of, and I think, and especially with my character, that the audience are with her the whole way. And
Mm,
so when we all are the Spice Girls at the end, um, the audience is with you. The team, your whole team are there,
mm,
because they're all shouting out encouragement to each other. So it's a really joyous feeling, and I think that's what dance can do.
mm.
So I think,
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm, oh,
There,
sorry, were you going to say something, Liz?
there is an element of the one of the themes is women's struggle with the
Mm,
menopause, and dance can be,
mm,
the power of dance can be very good for people trying to get through the menopause, and so we highlight that in the
mm.
play as well.
Oh, wow. And so ending on this sort of big musical number, Liz, was that an
Mm.
intentional concept to leave the audience feeling great? Is that what do you hope they get out of it?
Yeah, it definitely was. I always wanted them to be able to do the routine
Mm,
magnificently at the end. And it definitely leaves the audience feeling quite sort of uplifted
mm,
and sort of joyful that these women have come together through the odds and they've managed to do this routine. And
mm,
they're obviously very excited about being able to do it. And, I've heard quite a lot of comments from the audience as they leave saying, do you know what, I could watch that again straight
mm,
away. And that's just such a lovely thing to hear, not just as a writer, but,
mm,
as because I write theatre that isn't too complicated.
mm,
I don't write stuff that people are going to walk away scratching their heads and going, well, I didn't really know what that was about, but it was well acted or something like that.
mm,
I write theatre that, you know, is an all round fun
mm,
experience.
that
And
everybody that everybody can understand, and not understand, but everybody can, in their own minds, see, or they've been there themselves.
mm,
I can't, they see themselves in what you're writing, isn't it? We've all
mm,
been there with friends. We've all done that. You've
yeah,
said things, or you've said something behind someone's back, or you've said, like, she blurts out different things. Everybody can identify. That's
mm,
the word I'm looking for. Everyone can identify with the scenario and the characters.
mm. Fantastic. So we are coming to the end of my questions, but I do have a few more. So we'll start with Liz. Where can people stay up to date with you and the show?
so right, I need my notes for this because I cannot get into my head the dates that we're doing. We're starting on the 10th of April in
Mhm.
Brighton, for one night only at the Tusk Club, which is underneath a pub called the Walrus. Then we go to Eastbourne, the Grove Theatre, on Saturday, the 18th of April.
Mhm.
Then we've got a little bit of a break, and then we do the 13th of June in Petworth, which is West Sussex.
Mhm.
And then our final show is at the Greenwich Theatre in London on the 20th of June.
Oh, fantastic. And people can get tickets online with the
They can
respective
get
tickets.
tickets online. We Got Tickets is the link
Mhm.
for Brighton and Petworth. The Eastbourne and London shows are at the theatre
Mhm. Oh,
ticket links.
fantastic. So I'll put the links below so people can click and buy their tickets.
Thank
Kate, where
you.
can people stay up to date with you?
Um, basic, I think Instagram.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, when it
Yeah.
comes to, because again, I'm not very good with social media.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know I should be, but that's the trouble. This is why this play is so, um, people can identify with people of my age, that actually
Mm.
it's not all, yeah.
And continuing with Kate, what advice do you have for young performers?
I think young performers, go out there, try things. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be an amateur performance, it can be something at school, it can be a club after school. Don't be afraid just to go and meet new people,
Mm.
and I think meeting people in the theatre are genuinely um, some of the nicest kind of people
Mhm.
out there, because they all have a passion. They all want to. Um, they all want to be involved with something that excites
Mm.
them.
And all sort of work together to create something fantastic.
Yes.
Mm. Liz, what advice do you have for young writers looking to get into the industry?
I would say just keep going. My father is a poet actually, and
Mm.
he always said, he's in his 80s, and his parting shot to me whenever I go and see him is keep going. And that's the sort of
Yeah.
mantra for me, really. You have to try, you have to put yourself out there, you have to cope with rejection, of which there is
Hmm.
constant rejection. You have to pick yourself up and have another go. Um, but I think the thing that has always kept me going is I enjoy it. I think
Hmm.
the minute you're not enjoying it, you shouldn't be doing it.
Mm.
And so I just love writing. I'm already busy writing my next one, and I think if it's a passion of yours, you have to just go for it.
Mm. Totally. So I said it at the beginning, but I'll end the same way. Thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down and chat with me. It truly does mean a lot. So thank you so much. As I said, I'll put the links in the comments so people can scroll down and click away. I wish you the best of luck, and I shall speak to you soon.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much, Rhys. Nice to talk to you.